Good morning, everyone. This is Laura here, and we are with the Dutton S. Peterson Memorial Library in Odessa, New York. And thank you so much for joining us. We have lots of stories to read this morning, some poems, and a craft project. And the theme today is sleep, because as you might feel outside, it is very, very chilly. Our days are short. I know for me, at least, it's a good time to get extra sleep and hibernate. So that's our theme for today. Our books will include While You Are Sleeping by Mariana Ruiz Johnson. Beautiful book. Time for Bed by Mem Fox and illustrated by Jane Dyer. We have a classic, Goodnight Moon by Margaret Wise Brown, pictures by Clement Hurd. And in between, we'll read some poems. Poems are such a nice thing to do before bed or before a nap. And this book, which we have in the library, 1 Minute Till Bedtime, has lots and lots of beautiful poems in it. So we'll read a few from here. So, our craft project will be a pillow, because what better thing to have for sleeping than a pillow? And for that, you'll need a piece of cloth. We have some at the library which you can use. I'm going to use a size like this. And maybe it's nice and cozy, soft, like fleece, or an old t-shirt can be really nice. We'll need some scissors for the project and stuffing, like pillow stuffing like that. So the first thing we'll do is to read a poem to start us off. And this one is called Paper People by Lisa Wheeler. So, Paper People. Every book you've ever read makes a home inside your head. Characters that you adore gather round your noggin's floor. You travel widely with each one and do the things that each has done. Their paper lives are fragile, true. The reason they exist is you. And that's Paper People. A really lovely idea about reading and the power of books within our minds. Next we will read, reading is one way to tell a story, right? But we can also tell stories in our minds with images. So this book, While You Are Sleeping, has no words in it, just images. It's by Mariana Ruiz Johnson, and the description is, while you are sleeping, does the rest of the world sleep too? Not everyone. Some people are working, some people are eating, some are walking their dogs, others are watching the stars, and some are setting off on an adventure that might inspire an artist to create a book. So that is the description for this book. I'm going to get up to show you the pictures. While You Are Sleeping. First page. on here? A party? Lots going on. What stories can you make up in your head about what these people are doing? Look that on the roof, maybe watching the stars. So now we see the city is on a body of water. And what is in the middle of the water here? A boat filled with creatures. What are they doing in the middle of the night? Aha! Wow, look at all these fish. Wow. What an amazing place they've arrived at. So many plants and animals. I love all of these details in this book. Wow. There's a tent there. Wow, what are these creatures doing? Looks like fun. Wow. Seems to be not night anymore. Wake up, dance, and stretch. The sun is rising on the city. What are people doing in the morning? Maybe still sleeping. finished a painting. And we're back to where we started. This little person. Voila! That is the end of this story. It was dedicated to Pato, the illustrator's husband, and Pedro, her little boy, for all their magical nights and precious awakenings. So I love the way that this illustrator helps us see that while we're sleeping, it feels like we close our eyes and then we're up, but so much happens in that time while we're asleep. So yes, a beautiful book here. Next we have a couple of poems. The first one is titled, "This is the Hour." This is the hour when dark hugs the stars, and petals touch petals to close up the flowers. This is the hour when songbirds alight, feathers together to share the quiet night. This is the hour when colors fade grays, and only dark sparkles rock by on the waves. This is the hour when magic above, as I drift into dreams, I hear whispers of love. That's by Liz Brownlee. Gorgeous illustration with that poem. This is the hour. Such a magical time at night. Our next poem is called "What Do You Dream?" So at nighttime while you're asleep, what do you dream? Teddy bear, what do you dream? I dream of the salmon that splash in the stream, and fairy tale forests with towering trees, and blueberry bushes, and honey from bees. When you go to sleep, do you dream like I do? I dream of these poems I'm reading with you. That's by Ken Nesbitt, a very lovely poem. And our next book that we have is Time for Bed. Time for Bed by Mem Fox, illustrated by Jane Dyer. And this book is how animals go to bed. Because we aren't the only ones that sleep, as you might know. Lots of other animals sleep as well. The description for this is, day is done, darkness is falling everywhere, and little ones are getting sleepy, feeling cozy and being tucked in. It's time for a wide yawn, a big hug, a snuggle under the covers. Sleep tight. Time for bed. It's time for bed, little mouse, little mouse. Darkness is falling all over the house. It's time for bed, little goose, little goose. The stars are out and on the loose. It's time for bed, little cat, so snuggle and tight. That's right, like that. It's time for bed, little calf, What happened today that made you laugh? It's time for bed, little foal. I'll whisper a secret, but don't tell a soul. It's time for bed, little fish, so hold your breath and make a wish. It's time for bed, little sheep, the whole wide world is going to sleep. It's time to sleep, little bird, so close your eyes, not another word. It's very cozy in there. It's time to sleep, little bee. Yes, I love you, and you love me. It's time to sleep, little snake. Good gracious me, you're still awake. It's time to sleep, little pup. If you don't sleep soon, the sun will be up. It's time to sleep, little dear. The very last kiss is almost here. The stars on high are shining bright. Sweet dreams, my darling. Sleep well. Good night. Lovely poem and idea in that book. Many ways that we sleep. Okay. And a poem from our book of poetry. This one is called Sky Story. Who has the keys to the moon, Who has the keys to the moon? Not me, said the owl, No keys. Not me, said the mouse, as he nibbled his cheese. Not me, said the bee, nor I, said the fly. Only I, said the sky, only I. It's quite a lovely poem there. Sky Story by Rebecca Kai Dutlich. And the last book that we'll read for today is Goodnight Moon by Margaret Wise Brown and pictures by Clement Hurd. So this is quite a classic that I'm excited to share with you. Good night, moon. In the great green room, there was a telephone, and a red balloon, and a picture of... What is there a picture of? Can you tell? The cow jumping over the moon, and there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs. And 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house and a young mouse. Can you see all of those things? And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady who was whispering hush. Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and a red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks, and good night, socks. You see the clocks and socks? Good night, little house, and good night, mouse. Good night, comb, and good night, brush. Can you see the comb and brush? Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. It's gotten a little darker. Good night to the old lady whispering hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. That's the end. Good night, moon. actually kind of a response to that book, which is called Adventures in Slumberland. I fell asleep while reading Goodnight Moon and dreamed I got to hold the red balloon. Its string was tightly gripped within my hand. It floated over me in Slumberland. It pulled me up. It felt like we could fly. And so we did, my red balloon and I. The ceiling of my bedroom opened wide, and up we went to see the things outside. I looked below and saw my climbing tree. For once, it didn't look that big to me. And then my schoolyard, full of kids, appeared. I think I might have seen myself. That's weird. I saw the playground bully. He looked small. I thought, he doesn't look that tough at all. There's Grandma's house. It's closer than I thought. Hey, I should visit. She'd like that a lot. It's strange. Though things look small, as up we soar, the moon looks so much bigger than before. Next morning, Goodnight Moon was on my bed, and such amazing thoughts were in my head. So many things are different than they seem, and oh, what fun to fall asleep and dream. That's by Chris Cook, Adventures in Slumberland. So that wraps up our stories and poems. So many good thoughts. Maybe you're feeling sleepy. I'm feeling a little bit sleepy. So next we'll make a pillow that you might use while napping or sleeping. And the materials that we'll need for the pillow include a piece of cloth, and we won't be using a sewing machine, which is really nice and helpful, but we will be tearing or cutting little strips that will tie together. So the cloth that you use hopefully won't fray. Like this soft cloth here doesn't fray into little pieces at the edges. And t-shirts are usually nice and don't do that either. So if you have an old t-shirt that's nice and soft, you might consider using that for your pillow. We have our scissors ready and some stuffing. So I have this stuffing, which is this fluffy white stuff. You could consider taking apart an old pillow that needs a new cover. Just be sure if the pillow does not belong to you, or just make sure with your parents, if you're a young person, that that's okay to take the stuffing from a pillow. Okay. First step here, just going to angle down, is to fold our piece of fabric in half, like this, so that we have one folded edge, and we won't have to tie that side together. It's already together. I did a little bit of pre-cutting here, as you can see. But this is what we'll do. We'll cut little strips on the edges on the three sides that are separated right now. So, use our scissors, and the distance between each cut is about 1/2 inch. So if you have larger hands, maybe the width of one finger. If your fingers are small, maybe use 2 fingers to measure. And then the length here is about 2 inches, enough so that we can tie a knot. So maybe once I show how it works, it'll be easier to see. And we'll do this all around on the 3 sides. We will have this cloth and a few other soft cloths at the library, if you'd like to pick up a square. And then we'll do the long edge here. And we'll actually trim off these couple of notches. So we'll have empty spaces here and here. So as you can see, when we start tying these together, the pillow will be smaller. So just keep that in mind when you're cutting your large piece, that the real dimensions are inside these notches. So now we can start tying together. Just need to cut this one on the edge in half. Okay, next, just tie the two pairs of strips together in a simple knot, like this, one side over the other and through the loop, and tie down, and just continue this way, one by one, all the way around, because this is kind of binding the two pieces of cloth together without sewing, which is of course really nice. If you do know how to sew, you could of course sew all around here with a needle and thread. This way we're going to have some really fun little fringes on the edges. Match up your pairs the best you can. Just gonna readjust here. And we'll start working on the long edge. Couple more. 1, 2. And before we do the last short edge, let's add the stuffing so we have this nice opening to use. And take a little handful of the stuffing and kind of, it's nice to separate it to get it as fluffy as possible. And then just open up this last corner, this edge, and stuff some in. Let's add another handful. Get it nice and soft and puffy. sticky. Just separating it like this. In. We're getting there. Maybe one more handful. Like this. Okay. Now we have a nice poofy pillow, and we just have to tie up this last edge here. I remember when I was younger, my friend gave me this really nice kit for a blanket where I cut two large pieces of cloth and tied them together like this to make a blanket. But I thought, why not make a pillow with that technique? And that's what we're doing today. So our last two ties here, 1 and 2. And now our pillow is done. And you can kind of push around and even out the stuffing in there. But here you go. Pillow for your head while you sleep. And I hope it helps you sleep. Have wonderful, beautiful dreams, some of which we thought about today in our books and poetry. So thank you all so much for joining me and sharing your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day and restful sleep for a nap or tonight. Thank you. Bye-bye.